How'd you two meet?
We used to work together at a restaurant that we both managed at, like 2014, I think. Yeah,
Did you find that your skill sets were complementary or were they redundant?
complimentary.
Complementary.
What did you like about the way he works?
I think that he's a worker, and like it's there's not a no. It's like, again, like I honestly view every problem like, again, we're in a restaurant industry. We're not trying to, save, like, we're not brain surgeon. Like, nothing that we do is that crazy. We're feeding people. So if there's a problem, there's always a solution to it. And, I think that for me, like, his approach to it is kind of like the same.
And then what about you, Chat? What did you like about Jen and
It
Jen's
was a
style?
question that our old boss asked, like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? Opening a restaurant? We quitting together at the same time." And he asked, like, "Oh, why?" Like, he wanted to know, like, "Oh, why Jen?" Right? I was like, "Well, that's the thing that Jen can do, and I cannot, and I can never do what she does." Back then, didn't see it clear, but I kind of like sense it that there was the thing that I will want be able to do. For example, Jen is very good at wherever you put her in a room with people, she is likable. People like her. People like to keep her things. People like to keep her advice. People like that. I'm not as good as that, and even though I'm trying, but like sometimes you're born with it, right? If you don't have it, you don't have it, and that is the thing that we can see that I don't have and Jen has back then. But everything else that we all, I think we always align with how do we approach these
Yeah.
problems, how do we fix them. So in the grand scheme of thing, the foundation was very similar on like there's no problem that we cannot fix. But like
And
on
like,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, but on the different, like the thing that differentiate us is the thing that I value a lot.
Yeah. I like to say this. I think we cover a lot of bases in the restaurant. I think a lot of people think that, oh, opening up a restaurant is like, what? Like, you're selling food is easy. Yes, it is easy, but there's also a lot of bodies. There's a lot of personalities. There's a lot of things that you need to cover. There's a business side. There's a marketing side. There's a payroll side. There's like HR side. So it's a business at the end of the day, right? Any other big corporation, they have all these different departments. Restaurants is the same. And I think we do a good job kind of covering it all and kind of overlap in certain area.
And so, Chad, your parents owned a restaurant, right?
Here and there, but they're never actually good at business. They have, I think they started try to do restaurant 4 or 5 times back in Thailand, and it never actually lasts more than like a year. And then they will start it, and they will just like feel like, "Oh, I don't want to do it anymore," and they just quit. But yes, they at some point they have a restaurant.
So the reason I ask is this, very similar to your position. The way that I was able to get financing and open my own concepts is because I was an excellent restaurant manager. The gap, the thing that I didn't even realize was a gap, was I didn't know what it was like to be a restaurant owner. Like I couldn't even articulate what it was that a restaurant owner did. So for years, I wasn't actually a restaurateur. I was just like a restaurant manager with equity because that's what I defaulted into. And what I was hoping, Chop, was with your background, maybe you knew what a restaurateur was going into this.
Nope.
But if you two didn't, I'm curious to know, how did you figure it out? Did you figure it out independently? Did you sort through it together? Because I would argue that there are people that own restaurants.
I don't
like
even know it right now in the restaurant tour. I still work. After like 4 or 5 restaurants, we still no, actually, that's a lie. We tried to figure out the first 2 years, the same as you. We put in money that we saved for, which is not much, like for 10 years into one business, right? And then we basically hire ourselves. We pay each other. We pay ourselves $100 a day. Doesn't really
Sure.
matter how much you work. You work like 18 hours, you get $100. We were employees to our own self.
Yeah.
But I think started like a few years ago, right? A few years ago when we start to like have a second restaurant, the third restaurant, the fourth restaurant coming in. I think that's when we try to plug and play and hire people that are better than us in a certain area.
So let's talk about that, because I think this is the leap that most independents fail to take. And I think it's the reason that it takes 10 years to get there is every dollar, like as an owner operator, every dollar you pay someone else is a dollar you could pay yourself.
But
right?
you're good at everything.
I'm
So
Yeah,
you
100%. I would argue I'm good at almost nothing, Jen.
That's
Right?
one of our
I'm good at like one thing, and that's it, you know?
Our bookkeeper called me one day. Jen was there too. And she goes like, Chad, like your book is so messy. Your financial is messy. You're basically overpaying yourself for doing the shittest job ever. I was like, oh my God, like please hire someone to do it. You way overpaying yourself and do the shittest job as a bookkeeper. I think that's what applies.
So let's talk about though, because I think that what keeps us stuck in that is the misconception that like a bookkeeper costs you money, right? Because a bookkeeper doesn't cost you money, it makes you money, or at least it should when done right. Am I wrong?
I think that, we are a bleeding business on a daily basis, on like literally hour by hour basis. Like things can break. I am spending left and right and center, like all the time. We have to buy things, we sell things, we buy things. Those, like our transactions are ridiculous, right? Like in terms of spending. If you don't have a bookkeeper, if you don't have a strong core, how are you going to know where you actually are like at any given moment? Like our director of ops, like it's like, oh, can we bring a bookkeeper in house? And I said, absolutely not. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. This is a third party company this is their expertise, right? This is their bread and butter. This is what they need to be good at. They are looking at all the things that they need to know before we need to know. I'm not bringing that in-house. Who am I to say that like I can be a CPA and also like a good bookkeeper? Like a good bookkeeper does everything. They pay your taxes. They literally pay for unemployment. They take care of your insurance. They take care all of those things. I'm not an expert in. Sometimes I'm like, wait, what's happening there? What is that? Like I don't want that responsibility. Like if I hire someone, that's mean I'm the go-to for that problem. I do not want to be the go-to for that problem because I don't know what is the solution to that problem, right? So like I'm still fighting him every single day about it.
And so my question is, when do you begin to outsource? When did you actually begin not to grow the company, right, but begin to grow the bench? When did you start investing in people and in vendors that you thought could give you more leverage as owners? Not like in terms of timing, like it was like August of 2023, but like financially, like it's because you never have enough money to do the things, right?
I think that we were smart enough in the beginning that we started using bookkeeper right off the bat because we were like, listen, this is one thing that we can't be messy like in, right? Like money, we cannot. We need to know what the hell we're doing. We need to know that this is how much we're making, this is how much we're spending, and we need to have our P&L. So I think very early on, right? Like
first day.
I think like immediately the first month we got a bookkeeper, and in hindsight, we should have gotten them in 3 months in advance before we even opened, right? But I think, like me and Chad look at numbers like all the time. And I think we're very in tune in terms of like numbers and like our P&L, like we kind of live by our P&Ls a little bit, where I think the P&L tells you about your business. Like I don't even need to be in the store, but if I look at the P&L, weekly P&L, I can tell you how we're doing as a business, right? Like if overtime is crazy, then it's like, what's going on in the kitchen? What's going on there? Why are we overspending on overtime? Do we not have enough people? Do I need to staff more? Do I need to hire more? If the food cost is going crazy, then it's almost like, okay, is the chef like actually efficient? Like is the pricing going through the roof, or are we wasting food? I think we say those all the time. I think P&Ls tells everything. I don't have to be at the actual like location, but if I have a P&L, a weekly P&L that's accurate, I can tell you what's actually happening.
And that's going to show you what you're spending and operations and
Correct.
things like that.
Yeah.
When you look at the sales data,
Yeah.
right? And not just in terms of revenue, but in the drivers of revenue. How does that influence what you focus on from a marketing perspective?
I think, how does it, I think like our concept are always the thing that drives us the most, right? Like when we open Fish Cheeks, we knew that our focus is going to be Thai seafood, right? Like, so
Sure.
we know that that's something that we are going to push. We're a Thai restaurant, but we do like happy hour, we do seafood towers, we do oyster happy hour. So, like we know that like maybe we're going to spend a little bit on that and we're going to be okay. But we know that like, from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock, or it's even like 6 o'clock when we first started, right? Like that weird hour of like there's nobody there waiting for guests to come in. We can fill those seats because we have these things,
I
right?
think we look at it as back then, we did not actually think about like, the bigger picture of marketing.
Yeah.
We look at like, what do we need at the moment?
Right.
It's like one task. Now it's like between 4 to 7 o'clock. There's no one coming in. What
Yeah.
do we do?
How do we fill the seats?
How do we feel like in the
Yeah.
most, like coolest way,
Yeah.
and not like, buy one, get one free, or like that thing.
Yeah.
I think marketing comes into play like little by little through our like period of time opening.
But I think we were always aware, right? Like it always kind of like in the back of my mind where we're like, and I think like, when Fish Cheeks first opened, Instagram was kind of already a thing and people like the age of influencers is already starting. So I think that for us was something that we're like, okay, we need to lean into that a little bit also, so like, what is it that is going to drive that for us? Like, yes, even though we're doing it all by ourselves, but like we can, we're still aware.
Let's talk about branding as it relates to marketing. It's the most interesting part of branding for me is positioning.
Yeah.
How do you become a category of one? How do you separate yourself from everyone else? And most people in our industry try and do it by the things that they do, not the things that they don't do. You open a Thai restaurant and you want to be known as like authentic and innovative and cool and interesting. And you refuse to put any of the Thai staples that the average Joe on the menu is used to, right? Talk to me about why that was a brilliant decision, how that set you up for success, and how you dealt with the sea of difficult conversations that it led to. Because, everybody wants to eat pad Thai and you won't serve it.
This is a little bit of arrogance, right? Like I think it's ignorance is bliss also. Like, I think when we first like starting the conversation of wanting to open a restaurant, we were like, I opened my first restaurant when I was like literally like fresh out of college and with a group of people that I had no business like putting money in, like, it was just kind of romanticizing the whole damn thing. And it failed like after 8 months, right? But that is because like the concept is not strong enough and the partnership is not strong enough. But I have always wanted to do a very kind of like a focus menu where you don't have to put like 70 items on the menu. You can go smaller, but everything is intentional. Everything is made with like care and like the green ingredients are great and we're not using one ingredient in 10 dishes, right? Like I think when we started to have that conversation, he was like, yo, like I'm aligned. I am okay to do that. Like we can do something like that. Like I think also like the more we talked about it, the more we were like, actually, like this can be very, very cool. Like we believe in it. And I think that, not even, I don't think that we were thinking that like we were that crazy.
To not sell pad Thai?
Yeah. Like we knew it, but we were also like, what? Like, who cares? Like, like we want to do it. So, and I think we're going to do it well. So I think we were just kind of like believing in ourselves like a little too much and just like went with it.
I think this is one of the things that I rely heavily on Jen too, because I came from Thailand. I don't know what's cool, what's not cool, right? I only want to do something that is different than other people. Mm-hmm. I want to do something that's new because for me, opening a restaurant, it's not just for money. I do it for fun as well. I'm enjoying until this moment, even though it's so like stressful every day, but I like doing new concepts. Mm-hmm. I like doing new things. Back then, I was just telling Jen, like, I'm down to do something different. But whatever you think is cool, just do it. Let's do it. And she will be, because she lives here, and she was like, you know what, let's do something that's other Thai restaurants do. Let's do no pad Thai.
Yeah.
Let's focus on something. And then we came up with oh, let's do seafood. How about seafood? I mean, it's more like, for me, it's more like the challenge that we can be the first one to do things.
Sure. So let's talk about that and unpack that for a minute, because like different is tricky and different isn't always cool. And so, you know, what I think people want is, I think that they want the familiar in an unfamiliar way. Mm-hmm. They don't want something unfamiliar in an unfamiliar way, because that's typically weird and gross. Yeah. And so, right, it's a new take on an old favorite. That's really what they want. Mm-hmm. It's the reason that they sell so much Red Bull, but they don't really sell those base jumping squirrel suits. Yeah. Right? Because everybody wants to feel adventurous. Nobody actually wants to be adventurous. And so how did you bridge the gap when you looked at the offering, and let's also say over 10 years, the evolution of the offering at Fish Cheeks? How did you make sure that you honored the consistency that built the brand and built the base, while innovating in a way that was accessible?
I think, you know, we are very aware of the restaurant scene in New York City, right? Like, we always keep our eyes out. Like, we always look at what our competitors are doing, or, you know, our colleagues are doing, right? And at the same time, like, we know that, like, if we're selling Thai food, our chef is literally like a white dude, and he's amazing, but he knows nothing about Thai food in the beginning. We know that we need to keep on educating ourselves, right? Like, I think that's key to anything that you do. Like, you have to have more information, you have to have more knowledge. So, you know, like, I remember, like, when Dustin first joined, he's like, oh my God, like, I love him. He was so eager to keep on bringing us new ideas, right? And I think, like, the first, like, 6 months, I said no to him. I don't know how many times. I would just like, no, I'm sorry. No, he's like bringing me new dishes. And I'm like, oh, no. At one point, I had to tell Chad, I was like, I can't keep on saying no to him anymore. Like, I feel bad that, like, I don't want to bring down his morale. I don't want to crush his, like, you know, his like self-esteem. Like, what the hell can we do here? Right. And at the same time, he was like, can I take a master class? And I was like, this is insane. Like, master class on what, Thai food? That's crazy. And like, there's so much that me and Chad can just say, and like, hey, like, this is what you should do. Like, the lack of the understanding of the cuisine is there because he's never been to Thailand. He has us as kind of like the guide, right? So we literally looked at each other and we're like, let's send him to Thailand. Like, let's just like have him like be exposed to the culture, to the country, to see how we are thinking and what we are thinking. So I think that was like the kind of like the spark in the beginning. And like, we mesh him like up with our chef at Bangkok Supper Club. Chef Max was at the time still in Thailand. So we, you know, hooked them up together and
like, show him around, take him around, show him Thai food. Don't even have to think about the class yet. Yeah. Show him what real Thai food are. Yeah. Because he tried to go into like all this restaurant in New York City, try to like, hey,
he keeps on giving me like chicken satay, spring rolls. And I was like, Dustin, like, I'm going to pull my hair out. Like, you cannot. Like, so, I said, no, like, no.
So the first trip to Thailand for Dustin was just going around with Chef Max.
Yeah.
And showing him like a cool spot in Thailand, what to eat, what not to eat.
That's like the best person to eat with in Thailand, right? Like, so that became like a annual thing. Like, Dustin goes back to Thailand more than I do. And then we start, you know, making him take like a really intensive courses with like a researcher or a teacher. Piying is, you know, she lives in an island in Thailand, and that's her whole life. She's a researcher at heart, and she teaches Thai food. So Dustin basically took a 7-day class, like from 9 to 5 every single day, goes with her to the market. She is like giving him literally all the details, like the backstory, the history, X, Y, and Z, like that you need to know. And he's been back to her like
4 times
already.
We flew her here too to teach people, our like cooks and chef, sous chef here. One time we plan to do it every year. Yeah. So hopefully, I think that's when we first start to see how important the education are for our staff. Yeah. And we, you know, continue exploring that like route since then.
Let's talk about that. Because everybody listening is probably shaking their head like, there's no way I'm going to spend that kind of money. It's an investment, right? And so there should be a return on investment. I think the problem is that, over the years, we've all hired people that we invested heavily in, that we didn't get the ROI that we had hoped, or that abused our trust or whatever it is. How do you continually, and I'm sure you've been there too, how do you continually make the investment in people, understanding that like margins are tight, right? And it's not like you guys have hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in coffers to invest this money in these people for like a nondescript return on investment. I mean, what you're doing is you're investing in context, right? So talk to me about how you make those dollars make sense.
I mean, we see it, right? Like, again, that's why we're also crazy with P&Ls. Like, we see it every week. We see how much we make. We see how much we can spare. We see how much we can spend. And, I think that the return on investment is crazy because like our return on like we are still a growing restaurant at the end of the day. Like we are now approaching year 10, like September would mark 10 year, and we are still growing every single year. And to us, that's kind of insane. We started with literally like a 1,400 square foot restaurants that only seat like max like 50 people. And then during COVID, we expanded, we took like another side. So we have now, like we basically double in size in restaurants. Like in the summertime, we put out outdoor seatings with like roads, like with more seats on the road. So it's becoming like we're constantly changing in terms of the location and the physical space as well. So, I think it has become very clear to us that like if we keep on staffing, we keep on giving people education, if we keep giving people kind of like this responsibility and ownership on taking the role seriously, but also putting that boundary around them, right? Like help guide where it's like, hey, what are you spending on? Like, what are we doing? Like financially, it also has to make sense, right? Like we're not just doing this to do this, but if we can spare a trip for him to go to Thailand, I think the trade-off is tremendous for us because like now we literally have new items like every single month. We put on specials every single month, and it's a cool, like it's not dishes that you like see here. It's constantly like he's constantly bringing new things. Like I had this dish where it's like a marinated raw crab, right? Like the Korean raw crabs, but we have a Thai version. One of my favorite dish. I think we threw it at him like last year. I was like, Dustin, like I freaking love this dish, but like no one has done it like here correctly where it's like super tasty. It took him one try. Me and Chad literally were like, okay, maybe like we're going to have to do a couple tasting with him like to tweak the flavor. We threw it at him. He did his research, came back first try. I looked at him and I said, is this guy Thai? Like what's happening here? Like it's insane. Like, and you can see how like a crazy progress that he has, like, with that first year that he was here. Like, and now, it's literally like he can taste anything. He does it better than a lot of Thai people.
He does it better than me.
Yeah.
I used to cook, like when we first opened Fit Chicks, I was like the chef with my brother too. I can just say like right now he's much better cook than me. But also to be fair, I think it's more like we taking a little fed too, where we invest in people, not all the time that it pans out.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but we also not a chill boss like that. We chill, but we ask a lot from him too. Just to be fair with him, like he probably think him and our director of operations say like they probably thought me and Jen are crazy. We give a lot when we invest in people a lot, but we expect a lot back too. And that's how I feel like our restaurant group is fun because we always aiming to do better. It's always there's more.
Well, you seem to be growing, tell me if I'm wrong, through strategic partnership. Like the way you've been able to create greater bandwidth for yourselves is through domain expertise. It's through investing in that domain expertise of others and then acquiring talent. I think a great example of this is Bangkok Supper Club. Can you tell me about, coming off the back of Fish Cheeks, the easiest thing in the world to do would have been to open another fish. Yeah. For sure. Not that I did that myself, but like going back, I'd have less gray hair if I did.
I think again, right? Like identifying what people are good in, identifying what they're, where they're supposed to be. You might be great in this surrounding, but you might not be great in a different surrounding, right? Like, I think, this was like by chance, like it was COVID, Chef Max was here getting vaccinated. I saw him. I've known the kid for, I want to say like at that time, probably like 10 years, and I've been following his career. He's extremely talented, very knowledgeable, very well connected in Asia, in Southeast Asia. And I was like, what are you doing here? It's like vaccinated. I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, what are you doing? Like personally, like professionally, what are you doing right now? He's like, I don't know. Like he used to work for Iron Chef of Thailand, like doing consulting all over. He was like, I don't know. Like I'm kind of bopping around right now. I'm doing my own thing. I'm doing consultant in like Southeast Asia, a little bit in the Middle East, like, for hotels and like restaurants. I was like, okay, cool. But what about you? Like, do you ever want to open a restaurant? And he was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. So I was like, okay, just in case if you do, I want to be considered, right? Like I really believe in his talent. And I think that like you have a very strong standpoint. And I think that it's like, it would be a cool partnership. And a month later he calls me and he was like, Jen, like I want to open a restaurant in New York. I was like, okay, done. So I called him. I said, hey, like I have this other opportunity. But that's the thing. We were going to expand Fish Cheeks to LA, and we were so close to signing the lease, and we probably pissed the landlord off because we were like, hey, I'm so sorry, I don't think we can do this, like it's too far. But like because we had the other like opportunity kind of fell off, and we were just like, yo, like we have to take this. Like I think this is like, it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be something that we haven't done before, let's do it. And I think that's kind of where it started with, like, hey, this is very like intriguing that we have another concept that is not ours. Like, honestly, like, there's a personality, a chef that has his own standpoint and his own view of what he would like to cook or wants to cook. So yeah, for us, we were just like, yeah, let's do this.
Let's talk about LA for a second, because I think that, you bring up something that I think is a hurdle for so many of us. Mm-hmm. You guys are people pleasers. Like everyone in this industry is a fucking people pleaser. And the last thing you want to do is disappoint people, right? And so, you probably had an LOI on the table. You've been working with this landlord. That stage, you'd probably told a bunch of other people that you're going to open in LA. It's this whole
thing. Fish Cheeks in NoHo and like try our food, loved it. He was like excited. Yeah.
Right. Like we do all of these things, right? And then a better opportunity comes along, or a different opportunity that could have a better outcome. And typically we don't do it. And the reason is like, we don't want to disappoint people, right? And we already said this thing, and you don't want to be made out to be a liar or indecisive or all of these limiting beliefs, these stories we tell ourselves. And so I think it takes more courage to quit than it does to continue in most cases. So talk to me about the internal conversations that you guys had about it and the obstacles that you had to overcome to do what was obviously best for you.
I mean, we felt bad, but I think that the other opportunity is just so much bigger than what we see like right here, where it's like, hey, I know that like Fish Cheeks is in LA. I do think that we would do well. I do think that we would serve a market that is very comparable and very similar to New York market, right? Like clientele is very similar. The spending habit is somewhat similar. And, but for us, it was more so like this other opportunity is so much better in our eyes that like, we can't say no to this. It would be crazy.
What is interesting too? We didn't talk about the money. The money was not.
It was not about the money.
Not about the money.
Really?
It was not about it. We're making less money than opening Fish Cheeks in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But we did not. We talk about like, wow, this will open up to a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
And you will do something so new in New York City. No one has done it before in the city. Not the way that we did. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other people doing upscale or whatever it is, but
for ourselves, right, at the end of the day, like we're still a Thai restaurant group. Like back then, we're just like, hey, we're doing Thai restaurant. We have not seen other Thai restaurant group explore out to other cities, right? Like it would literally for us, we would be the first one doing that. So we were like, we're excited, and this is a brand that we strongly believe in. I think it would do well in a different market as well. We got excited, yes, but I think there's another concept that comes about, and we were just like, oh wow, like this is cool, this is fun, like this is actually a new challenge, right? Like, I think that's kind of how we were viewing it. But at the beginning, we actually were like, wait, how do we do this? Like, do we even like split our times? We'll make both happen. Like, we'll do like LA too. You stay here, I'll stay there, and then we switch, and then vice versa. You know, like that was the conversation. Like it wasn't just like flip a switch and we said, okay, no more LA, and then, you know, just go with Max. It was
we were trying to get both.
Yeah.
And then the more we talk about this concept, the more we realize, Jen told us like, I think we kind of like talk to each other enough to know what the other person thinking sometimes.
Yeah.
And Jen was like, yeah, what do you think? I was like, I don't think we can afford to separate.
Yeah.
I think this concept needs that both. And Jen was like, I agree.
Yeah.
So we had to.
And so then you usher yourselves into a different tier of dining, which you would think that there would be some parallels, but like I have been in, not even one. Like it's a different customer, it's a different expectation. Economically, it's
now, yeah.
Oh my God, it's all different. Like you think to yourself, we've been around 10 years. We know a shit ton of people. All those people are just going to start coming here twice a month too. No. And it's like, no, we're not going to do it.
I think the most different is literally our staff. The way, the expectation that Bangkok Supper Club staff have for themselves versus the expectation that employees at Fish Cheeks has for themselves, very different. Very different. The way they hold themselves, very different. We're very fun here at Fish Cheeks. We're, you know, like, very casual. We love everyone. Everyone comes in. It's great. It's amazing. Any time of the day. Totally fine. Bangkok Supper Club is a little bit more like, no, this is a special occasion. Like you want really, everything is super intention to the T. Like we want to literally like write a card for every single person celebrating, like just living life any day, you know, like it's the way that both restaurants approach things are so different. Yeah.
And how did you have to change? How did you two have to become different in order to be able to manage something that was
don't even try to figure it out.
I think honestly, at the end of the day, like we try to understand people, right? Like again, I say this all the time, like just because you don't like we do not mesh well together, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with both of us. It just we're not meant for each other, right? Like, and I think that's how people are most of the time. You put them in a different settings, they excel in different settings. You put them in like a staff from Bangkok Supper Club, you put them in Fish Cheeks, they might die. Like we have so much volume, like it's so fast paced. It's just go, 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 go. There's no like time to think. We just need to make things happen, right? Like it's kind of it's a beautiful chaos, like a very organized chaos that happens here. We have delivery, we have takeout, we have PDR, we have this, we have, it's insane, right? At any given day. But Bangkok Supper Club, everyone's there's steps. There's very, very particular steps that needs to be taken and that like everyone needs to kind of like, we're doing that every single day, like the same all the time. And it works for them because that concept needs those kind of people, right? Like I don't want like a beautiful chaos over there. I need it to be very like standard. I need steps of service to be like on like tight and on point all the time.
Did that influence you two as leaders? The reason I ask is I would argue that the biggest impact that my fine dining restaurant had on me was that was the thing that professionalized me. Mm-hmm. That I actually became like like an adult, like a business owner, with one location that was cash flowing and highly profitable, that eventually I got to the point where I didn't need to be there anymore. Like I was like a kid in a candy store, and like, in a dive bar in Hollywood, like every night's a reason to celebrate.
Yeah.
But then when we got into fine dining, the stakes changed, like people are celebrating engagements. Like I'm a part of like memorial services and 50th birthdays and all of these things. I just, for me, what it did, the way that it changed me was I ended up with way more reverence for what I did for a living, and a different level of respect and a standard of care for the people that were entrusting me with that experience. Was it anything like that for you?
I think, at least for me, I can't speak for him, but I think it is the same. I think that moment came when we actually built out our hospitality team that is taking care of both locations. I think going into Bangkok Supper Club, we knew that that's what we had to do, right? Like we're going to charge X amount for Thai food. That's already a battle in itself. We have to be very professional. We have to be put together like through and through. Like service is only dinner time, from the moment we open to the moment we close, we have to be extremely professional. So we knew that going in. That was already like our intention, right? Like the way we staff people, from like the manager, the GM, the beverage director, like everyone was in place kind of like for that specific role. So in itself, that was already like way like way above fish cheeks, like when we first opened, right? Like we knew that going in. But I think when it shifted and when I was like, okay, actually we have to be like crazy professional now, is when we actually staff like our director of sales or director of ops. Like now we have director of ops for each like for each concepts. And now we have, a marketing person, we have a brand person, we have a salesperson. That's when we're like, okay, actually we need to be like a grown up now. We can't just like roll with it anymore. Like we need to have structure. We need to have like schedule on the books, like always like consistent is very much key like at the moment. So I think that's when we kind of turn ourselves into a more like a more grown up version of ourselves.
For me, I'm trying to stay the same. I'm trying, right? Because 5-5 hospitality is in Thai, it's haha. It's haha, it's 5-5, it's haha hospitality. I think me and Jen are like really not, like we're happy in general, and we are not that serious,
but
to be honest. But we are.
Yeah.
Right? We are so serious about numbers and like reviews and all those things. But we, in general, we like to make jokes. We like to make fun. We like to like be happy all the time. But yes, when it comes to like now, you have more people, you have more concepts,
you have more responsibilities.
You have more responsibility. You can't just act like that all the time. So that the core as a person is still there, but like to have to be more professional, yes, that we adapting that every day. Also, go back to, I think we hire people that actually good at what they do too. Go back to that, right? Like if we need a lot like super professional GM, then we hire all those people to run the space bars.
Those people aren't cheap.
No.
But that's why I don't say no. Opportunity comes, I have to say yes. Don't tell me no. That's like one of the thing that we literally had with them. It's like, hey, I need your mindset to be, if there's an opportunity, we're not going to say no. We say, okay, what is the way to achieve that? And how do we move forward? If it really is something that cannot happen, fine, I will say no. But if there's an opportunity, I'm not going to say no. Provide me with all the information. Provide me with all the details. Ask all the right questions before you say no. If you really can't make the math work, okay, totally fine. But if you don't have those information and you're going to say no, we cannot work together. I'm not okay with that, right? Like, I think, again, I think it's just a mindset. And I think like that's the only way for us to grow. Like we need to say yes to things, and we need to see if there's a way into doing different things all the time.
What is your approach to growth? So, I mean, you guys have these two concepts plus a bakery. One of the things that was difficult for me to delineate earlier in my career, which is the only thing I really focus on now, is the delineation between more work and more money. I just wanted to open more locations just to have more locations. I didn't really think about money until I didn't have any. And then I was like, well, money would be nice. Maybe I should focus on that for a while. And so what is your approach to growth, profitable growth, sustainable growth?
We like money. So that's.
Yes. Amen, sister.
I like money. I'm the cheapest person that you will ever meet. Like, I don't spend. I don't like spending that much. I told him he loves spending, and he will be like, you know what, Jen, I don't know. Like, I'm young. I don't have responsibilities. I'm going to get whatever the fuck I want. I'm really sorry for cursing. Like, I will do what, like,
Good.
whatever it is that I want to do. Sure. I said, Chad, no. What if what if we need it? Like, what if I like to see bigger numbers in the bank account? If like that makes me happy, you know what I mean? So
Amen. Same.
I think, like, yes, we love opening new locations, and we would even double down if we truly believe it and it doesn't make money, right? But I think at the end of the day, business is business. Business has to be profitable. There needs to be money there. I need to be able to pay my people because, like, I'm not just doing this for fun. I'm doing this so that like we have longevity in our career and that we can keep on growing and we can have more people so that, then we can keep on growing. It just like, it's kind of like a vicious cycle, right? Like, you have to kind of keep on adding more to make more, to have more. So I think with that mindset, again, like if we're just doing it for fun and there's no profit in it, we are ready to cut ties also, if it really doesn't work and if there's no way out.
There was the time that we do things just for money when we were not an owner.
Yeah.
I think after we finished working with for someone else, that was really like, there was a time that I only need the money and I'll do that. The moment we opened Fit Cheeks, I think we were lucky enough to be able to find the concept that both bring money and fun. And we've been leaning toward that since then.
Yeah.
But before that, we pay our due too. We did work just for like, hey, we need to save up money.
Yeah.
We need to do things not for fun.
What should we steal from you? Like, I don't know if they're successful people. I think that they're successful habits that, when done consistently, result in successful outcomes. When you look back on your lives, what are the tactics, the tools, the strategies that served you well, that you double down on today?
I think honesty, be nice to people always. I think, we talk about things all the time. Like, me and Chad are on the phone like constantly. My husband's literally like, what are you guys talking about? Like, it's like 10 a.m. on a Sunday. And he's like, you're still talking to him?
Go to like when you're on vacation on the beach with everyone who was on the phone with me for like 3 hours.
But I think, clarity. I think, being able to have like a hard conversation is like very key. Right? Like, really have to play it out 360. Like, you can't just think that, like, me and him likes to play out scenarios all the time. We don't talk about like, hey, like, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be successful. Duh. That's the whole point.
What is the worst thing that can happen?
What is the worst case scenario? Give me the worst of the worst of the worst. Can we get out of that? Because if we can, then okay, then we can do it, right? But if we can't get out of that, and
are you willing to trade that?
Yeah.
There's sometimes we take the deal that we already play a scenario out. Hey, the most we will lose is $50,000 each. Are you willing to bet on that?
Right. Well,
that's the worst case, and it happened. Well, it was like, oh, 50K.
Damn it. But then it's like the second time, it's like, are we willing to do that again? And we're like, no, we're not. So like, but I think like we have to be aligned. Like, I think that, again, like, we are doing this. We are very different people. Like, the way he operates, the way he thinks, the way I think are very different, but at the same time, same, right? Like, if we agree to do something, then I back him up 100%. If I agree, if we talk about it, he might not agree with it, but I said, hey, I think we need to do this, and we are doing it, and we are able to reach the conclusion that, okay, fine. I don't 1000% see how this is going to go down, but I agree. Like, we are doing it, then we are doing it. I think we have to be supportive of each other 100%, or this doesn't work.
I think the partnership actually worked this long because of that too. we know what we actually good at, right? I know what is Jen's strong suit are. She probably know what like
Yeah.
my strong suit are too, right? The moment that one of us so strongly believe in something, even though the other person doesn't, Bob's Bakery is, for example, Jen was like, "Oh, Sean, I have this crazy idea, $1 million idea. You want to hear? You want to hear?" I was so excited. I was at the gym. I was like, I dropped everything, all the dumbbells. Like, let's hear it. And she come up with this. Oh, what about we can do all the top nine, all the allergen-free cake? I was like, what? Like, I was so excited. When you hype it up, I was like, no. I was like, no, like I
He
don't
was
care.
like, what do you mean? What is that even? Like, who cares? Like, why do I give a shit about that? And I was like, bro, like, but
Cookies, cupcakes, cake. I was like, no, I don't eat that shit. I strongly believe in it. And then I think when it something like that, a big or small, something like that happen, we let it run. I let her run with it. She let me run with it, and we try to be as supportive as possible. And I'm to the point where it doesn't work anymore. I was like, hey, maybe it doesn't work. Let's come up with a solution.
We did it, guys. We fucking nailed it. How did that feel?